Good morning from New York City. It has been a few days since I posted on YouTube, and I actually just got internet back home, so I have not had any time to edit anything from finals, but I wanted to get something out here to talk to you guys and let you know what's going on with life, with finals, with league, with everything. But the catch is, this is all going to be one take because I don't have the ability to edit this, and I'm just going to upload it straight to YouTube. So if you see me put the camera down or do anything else like that, because I'm walking to work right now, I'm like walking around New York City, you know why. I'll have timestamps down below so you can kind of jump around and skip the break points that I'm going to have to incorporate in here. But it is going to be very raw, very kind of honest, and just talking. If I screw up anything, I'm going to have to correct it as well. So going back a few days, Friday, got off work. Saturday, we had LCS Finals, NRG, not really surprising victory over Team Liquid. I think most people that I talked to had them winning. Obviously going on to the finals then, and somehow beating Cloud9 from there was incredible. The 3 videos that I was able to record from finals, obviously we have an episode of The Pit, which we'll just kind of recap the entire weekend, give some storylines, give some highlight moments of the weekend. And from there, we also have the 100 Thieves. Anyways, yeah, we have the Pit. We have a special episode of TFC. I went around and asked basically any 100 Thieves fans that were willing to talk and be on camera, like, hey, what do you want from next year? What do you want from the team, from the players? Are you excited about Sniper? What about Closer? Like everything. Talk to a bunch of people. I think that'll be really good. That's coming out. I haven't figured out the schedule yet for this. Obviously, this will be out today. We got the podcast, I think, tomorrow. I don't know. I'll give you the update on Twitter. The third video is that there was a special press conference that was held on Sunday. Nayman tweeted about it. I'm sure most people know about it at this point, but it was with the head of LCS events, somebody at Prudential Center. The next person up was Dutmos for the opening ceremony, just kind of like giving a, his press conference beforehand. Ooh, shit. This is why I need to take breaks whenever I'm doing this. I'm gonna skip across. But then after that, you had the head of global esports, including like Valorant and League of Legends from the Americas, and then the head of like League of Legends specifically from the Americas, or League Esports, as well as the LCS team owners in Steve, Andy Miller from NRG, Cloud9's Jack, and This Guy's Toast. This Guy's Toast not being an LCS owner, but you get the point. That was a interesting press conference that I gave my thoughts and reactions to, but I need to record a section afterwards because I got to directly speak to the head of global esports of the Americas independently for about 10 to 15 minutes after game 1, or after game 2, I think, of finals on Sunday. So I want to make sure I include parts of that in there, obviously respectful to the conversation that we have, but also just like letting people know my general feeling coming away from that meeting, and like what my thoughts are on like the LCS as a whole. Actually, I think I might break that into separate videos, but nevertheless, that'll be it. Beyond that, for the off season, we got needlessly large rod stuff. And from there, just whatever content I want to make around the LCS. We got 2 months until Worlds, so we got a ton of time to just talk about whatever, do whatever. There's no restrictions on anything. We can just kind of make content as I feel like making content. The other big thing that has happened in the last few days is I took off work Monday and Tuesday yesterday to move out to Jersey City. As you can see, I'm still in New York. I work here, and Emily works for Broadway, so like we're always going to be here. But we decided to move out there to cut some costs, save about around like $800 a month in rent from where we're at now. About 1.3K when you include how much they were going to raise our rent as well in our current building. We also have like in-unit washer and dryer. I have my own office now. Like it's a great apartment. But I got a question on TikTok of like, why was I sad to leave Manhattan? Why was like the person comes from a small town. They couldn't quite understand like why it was so like emotionally charged to leave this area.
Not yet. They leave from New York tomorrow.
And the simple answer I guess I would give is like, think about it in terms of like Broadway, stardom, etc. Like if Emily were to make Broadway and she's there, you know, every night and you have the money to do so, where do you move? You move here. Why? Because you're close, you're accessible to everything. And personally, I put very high value on walkable cities, walkable towns, walkable areas. Jersey City's still walkable, but you have to obviously take like the PATH train into here. From there, if you want to take the subway to work, you can. If you want to do other things, you can. But like, something about the ability to walk literally everywhere without problem is, I don't know how to describe it. It feels like you can be anywhere you want to be in a moment's notice. If somebody says, hey, let's do this. If you're living in Manhattan, it's like, okay, I'll be there in like 15, 20 minutes. If you need to be there in like 10, you Uber. But it's like, I don't know. There is this drug-like addiction feeling to being in proximity to everything going on at all times. And the vibe of Manhattan is just unparalleled. Obviously, we get more space in Jersey City. The apartment's nicer, the building's a little bit nicer. Like that portion of it, you're not gonna be able to match within Manhattan without being rich, without being a millionaire or anything like that. But you know, everything else, the vibe, the ambiance. Like when I go out on weekends, I'm coming into Manhattan. I'm not going out in Jersey City. I'm not gonna lie, I shed quite a few tears yesterday. Yesterday, I think was when it hit the hardest because like we rented a car yesterday, like after the U-Haul on Monday, and came and got all of our stuff packed up, and like more or less formally left the apartment. We had some things to close down there, but it was the first time driving through on like West End Highway, and like coming into Manhattan, like knowing that like you just slept in a different like part of the city. It kind of like you were cheating on your like significant other that you've been with for 6 years. Like it's, I don't know. It's at the end of the day, like our goal is to start a family in a few years, probably move out to Long Island. But like my personal dream and the promise that I made to myself is this: like I eventually want to have, if I could go the Casey Neistat route and have a like content space in the city, that'd be great. I don't know if content will ever get there. Maybe I'll like if I could get on like one of the LCS teams, like in terms of content creation, or maybe like join at some sort of like higher level, like coming from Disney, etc., stuff like that. Maybe something like that is possible. But the goal is obviously to have, you know, a house in the suburbs, let my kids grow up the way that I did in Pennsylvania, but obviously in New York. But that's going to take a ridiculously high amount of income to get there. But the promise that I made myself last night when we were leaving the city is this: we're probably going to be in this building for anywhere between 3 to 5 years. I will never again let myself get in the situation where we are forced out of an area due to finances. I'm gonna bust my ass in terms of content, in terms of my job, in terms of everything else to make sure that never happens again. Because if we had our choice, we had unlimited money, we would still be in Manhattan right now. But that's obviously not the case. And that's where this sense of like, oh, I failed comes from. Because we didn't want to leave, but we were forced out. And I know that's not a failure on my part, but it's impossible for me not to feel like that to a certain extent, because like a part of me like always wants to be here. Even if we start a family, even if we have kids, like I love this city more than words can describe, more than actions can describe, and I hope that comes across in all of my content and everything I do for the NYC Legal Agency. So yeah, that promises I'm never gonna let myself get in a position where money forces us or dictates us to do something that we don't want to do, or like something suboptimal to our expectations ever again. I'm not gonna let that happen. And I don't know what life is gonna look like 3 to 5 years from now, but I can promise you this, again, I'm gonna bust my ass to make sure whatever it looks like then, I know I gave it my all, and whatever choices we make then, we're making because we can, not because we have to. That's a clear distinction that I want to make. Hopefully we get involved with the gaming and esports scene as well, but I don't know. Only time will tell, and just kind of got to roll with the punches and roll with the flow. Anyways, I'm almost at work. This is now 11 minutes, 55 seconds. Hopefully you all enjoyed. Again, a bunch of content coming up. We'll be back to normal schedule here soon. Just have to have everything up and running in the apartment, and I'll finally be able to edit stuff again and get it out. But until then, I'll catch you on the next video. Be sure to drop a like, subscribe, helps the algorithm. With everything, comment as well, it always helps. And catch you on the next one. Adios.